Hey, welcome to another episode of Boo Gray or BG Behind the Deal. And today we have Sarah Ann Castle.
It is, yes. You did. You pronounced it right.
I had it memorized. I was like reading a little bit of her profile, but she didn't give me her entire profile, so I'll let her explain who she is.
It's gonna be a surprise.
So Sarah, tell us a little bit about yourself. Where you're from? Are you Floridian native, or are you from a different state like myself? Go ahead, please.
Yeah, so I am not a Floridian. I'm actually from Colorado.
Wow.
Yeah, so born and raised in Colorado, lived in the mountains in the snow for a long time, and then moved to Florida in 2018.
There's no way I can tell by just looking at you that you're from Colorado.
Oh yeah, for sure. Especially now that I got like that Florida tan.
I expect you to be like really pale.
Yes, I know, right? Nope. Well, now I've lived here since 2018, so it's been so long.
Right.
I love it. Like the beach, like I was just at the beach yesterday, which is hence why I'm so tan.
Right,
but yeah, no, I love Florida. And it's actually funny because, well, what I do, I own a pool company.
Mm-hmm.
So we clean and maintenance pools, you know, do green pool restorations, something that never in a million years thought that I would be doing, especially being from Colorado. There weren't a lot of pools. So, and coming to Florida, it's like they're everywhere, which is
That's
awesome.
very interesting. So how do you get into this?
Oh my. Okay, this is a great story.
Please tell us.
So, okay. It was actually back during COVID in 2020. So my dad, he was an IT guy for a long time.
Really? Like me?
Yeah, oh, really?
Yeah, I was in tech for 25 years.
No way.
Yeah.
Okay. So I got to hear that too. Like he was in it for 35 years, which is how like he ended up getting let go during COVID.
How old is he?
Oh, he's 59.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah. So, well, he ended up getting let go in COVID. I mean, business, like, you know, it's part of the corporate world, which is really sad, right? You just become a number at a point, so.
I need to have a one-to-one with him.
Yeah.
I can talk about that myself.
Yeah?
Yeah, because I got a package from my last company, and that's how I got into mortgages.
Oh my gosh. So it's the same thing then.
It's very common for people in their 50s.
It's sad.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's, you know, retirement. And I mean, I think the government or the company's seeing like, hey, like, oh, we don't want to invest anymore in them.
Right.
So, of course, like, let's see who we can let go, right?
Oh, yeah.
And
You can get somebody younger for much cheaper.
And it's so sad because you dedicate your loyalty.
Yep.
And then you're just left there, right?
Yeah, it's unfortunate. That's the way the game works.
Yeah. So that's what happened with him. I, at the time, I was a detention deputy for Hillsborough County, the sheriff's office. And
what does that job entail? Detention deputy of a sheriff's office.
Yeah. Oh, it's definitely interesting. I call it more like adult babysitting. Because you end up getting in everyone from the outside, and then it's really just a day full of like, you know, telling them what to do. Like, you got to go to court, make your bed, don't do this with your pants, right? Pull up your pants. All right, did you sneak in something? Let me pat you down. Like, what did you do? Oh, you did this? All right, then time out and, like, you know, holding cell. So
this is male and female or just female?
I did both, male and female.
Wow.
Mostly female pods here in Hillsborough County, but as a female, you can do both male and female. So I did both.
So I have to ask this. You know, in a men's prison, they say that cigarette is like the currency, but in the women's prison, I heard that Takis is the currency. Is that for real?
So prison is different than jail. So I worked in the jail.
Correct.
That's one thing.
Right.
No, that's a great
Man,
that's a great
I keep
point.
forgetting that jail is different from prison.
It's probably good that you don't know that.
You know that means you're being to both.
It means you're good. No, so in prison, I mean, in jail, you can't have cigarettes. Period, right? So that's not a thing. I'm not sure about prison because I've never worked in a prison.
Okay.
But in jail, you can't have that. In Takis, that wasn't a thing when I worked there. But what was a thing is, they had these chips called shebangs. So you know shebangs if you've been in jail or if you worked in a jail, because that's like really the only thing that you can get. Like, that was a huge thing.
That is funny.
Yeah, that it's called Aramark. Like, they control supplying the jail. So
I guess if you have a friend or relative who, under some unfortunate circumstances, got into a jail, you know what to give them.
Shebangs. Yeah, and then you instantly know that, hey, it's kind of It's sad because as a deputy, so one of my jails I worked at, we had a vending machine and we'd actually stuff it with shebangs. And all the deputies, we'd be out there and we'd be like trying to eat all the chips. And now since I don't work there anymore, I actually like every now and then get a craving for that, which is, it's terrible.
It's
like I crave jail food. Yeah,
it's a job hazard.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, interesting. And so you got here before COVID.
I did. I got here in 2018.
And your dad was still working his corporate job.
He was, and yeah.
In Colorado or here?
Here. So there why I moved out here, because I have my 2 daughters and needed their help. As you know, I was working in detentions over there. I got divorced, and then it brought me out here because I wanted to work back in detentions here.
Okay.
And
so you're doing that back in Colorado as well?
I did. Okay, yeah. So I've been doing that since I was like 21.
Wow.
Yes, that was in my mind the career that I was.
How did you get into that?
Ooh, okay, here we go. So I originally got out of high school, I went to college, and I did dental assisting. Mm-hmm. It's completely different. Okay. And then, but my husband at the time, he ended up getting a job as a deputy, and it took us across Colorado away from my dental assisting job. Well, out there, it was called Akron, Colorado, a small town, kind of the middle of nowhere. And there was one dental office. Definitely weren't hiring for a dental assistant.
Right.
So I was a stay-at-home mom for a little bit, and as great as that was, it's not who I am. So I needed something, and the jail was hiring. So I literally just fell into it. I applied.
I feel like jails are always hiring.
They're always hiring. I don't know what it is. Like.
So it's funny. The reason why I ask is that usually there's a like a trajectory for somebody to get a prison job, right? Like usually did something first. So for instance, I have a relative also used to work in, this is not jail, this is prison.
Prison, right.
So he was a nurse, a male nurse. And if you're a male nurse, and there are 2 ways for you to get a bump in income. Either you go work in an insane asylum, because you're a man.
Oh, yeah.
Or you go work in prison. As the nurse in prison.
Yeah.
So he chose the prison route.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. That's really interesting. So he leveled up.
Yeah. Because
really?
You take the test, you become the officer inside the prison, but you have the medical background, so they need that, because guess what? There's always someone getting hurt in prison.
Yeah, and no one wants to do it. And you got some crazy stories, a lot of interesting things. Like nothing surprises me. Right. Anymore.
Yeah, anything is possible.
Anything is possible.
Yeah, anything is possible.
You can dream it. You can do it.
So I'm from Hong Kong originally, and back in the days, Hong Kong got a lot of refugees from Vietnam, right? Yeah. And some of these refugees, they're actually Viet Cong. So, they were trained soldiers in the jungle. So, extremely dangerous. Basically, they can turn a toothbrush into, like a dagger.
A shank, yeah.
Like easily. So, you gotta be super careful. Like as somebody who works in a prison.
Wow. Yeah. No, that's really interesting. Okay, so you're from Hong Kong.
Yes, originally.
So how'd you come over here?
That's a Kevin the origin story.
Okay, I need to hear the Kevin origin story.
Oh well, I grew up in the British colonial Hong Kong, so it was a British colony, and I moved to New York when I was 17 back in 1991, and lived in New York and worked there for 30-something years. I studied technology. I became a programmer at Bloomberg. I worked in different banks, different financial institutions, and then my last job gave me a package in 2019. But at the time, I already invested in real estate for about 4 years. So I became very fascinated by real estate because it's the opposite of what I was doing. Because in tech, basically you're dealing with computers. You're dealing with extremely logical things.
Yeah.
And in real estate, you're dealing with the opposite. You're mostly dealing with people.
Right. It's completely different.
It's completely different,
yeah.
Which is very fascinating. I think people fascinate me. And I decided to make a career change, midlife crisis, you name it. Yeah, so I took a test and became a mortgage broker in 2019. And in the beginning, it's not easy like anyone else who had a career change, right? You don't know what the hell you're doing. The good news was COVID happened and interest rate became 2.5%. Yeah. So everybody needed to do a refi. So at least I got that to jumpstart my career, learn the skill and the system and everything. And here I am 6 years later.
Wow.
Yeah.
Everything happens for a reason.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, It's the same thing. I know you said, so you worked in tech. What specifically did you do in tech?
So I started as a programmer, and then I became what they call an infrastructure guy. So back in the days, infrastructure means like network, servers, data centers. So maybe my last job would explain what I do very simply. Like I was deploying small offices for the big company. They would start a new office, let's say in Houston.
Okay.
Right, and there's nothing in the office. And back then, all the equipment was on-prem, meaning on-premise. The cloud wasn't ready yet. So you have to have email, you have got to have like a database, you got to have a file server, you got to have PCs for everybody, you got to have network for the connection, Wi-Fi for the wireless.
Yeah.
So basically, those are the kind of things that I would deploy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And then it was pretty unexpected when they let you go?
I actually expected it.
Okay.
I knew that was coming.
Elaborate. So, I mean, mostly you hear about the layoffs, right?
Yeah.
So you hear about the layoffs. So you're like always like wondering in those industries. That's what happened to my dad. So that's why I guess I'm.
I saw that coming. The writings were on the wall, and I knew that. That's why I started preparing myself. Investing in real estate, having some passive income, because I knew one day what happened to me. Because I saw the same thing happen to other people.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically, you kind of run out of steam in that profession in your late 40s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How old are you?
Yes.
You look really young. I thought you're in your 30s. And you're talking about 40s and everything else, so...
I'm turning 52 this year.
Stop it.
Yep.
That's insane.
Yeah,
I did not see that.
It is.
Okay.
We have a new member. What is her name? Is it also...
Sophia. Sophia, yeah, our screen...
She told me that her dad is like 36 or 37.
No way.
Because she's only 19.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, so
wow,
I was like...
okay, yeah.
I am your grandpa's age? Oh my goodness. That is so disheartening.
Yeah, wow. No, you look really good.
Oh, thank you,
What's
thank you.
the secret?
There's no secret. It's basically do all the simple things that everybody knows how to do.
Yeah?
But no one is willing to do it.
Question. Do you wear sunscreen?
I do.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay. I've heard so many things about... it has me thinking, like the chemicals in sunscreen, like you're actually not supposed to because it's like baking, like you think about it, you're baking like chemicals into your skin.
Right,
and I've done research, like, I mean, you think about when skin cancer started to happen and then it just being just a ploy, right? And the sunscreen company, like, you know, now everyone utilizes it, but now we also see like higher rates of people getting skin cancer because really you're putting a chemical on your skin, then you're baking it into your skin in the sun when we look before that. And our bodies are meant to have sun, right?
Yep, absolutely.
Of course, enough sun at a time, just like with anything. So doing something to prevent your body from actually taking in the sun naturally, it's actually detrimental. So I have a whole thing, like, that's what I asked. I'm like, maybe wear something that doesn't...
So my mom manages a senior citizen center, right? So there are a lot of really old people. So basically, as a man, if you're 85 and you're sitting in a senior citizen center, you're a rock star because your competition is mostly dead at that point. Like all the other people are ladies, right? Like women live a lot longer, so congratulations.
It's just a bunch of girls.
Right. So mostly girls. But when I talk to these people and ask them, so what's your secret? What's the secret of longevity, right? Almost no one would say that I'm on diet X, I don't do X, I only do whatever, right? They are doing everything.
Yeah.
But they're doing everything in moderation.
Moderation. Yeah.
And I think the number one poison in your body is not chemical, it's fear. If you're afraid, if you're afraid that certain things would happen, your body generates certain chemical that's bad for you.
Yeah, that's what stress
Which
does.
is stress.
Yeah.
Right? So there's fear.
Yeah.
So I think we just need to fear less about anything.
Stop
in life.
worrying as much because what's going to happen is going to happen at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Like they enjoy life, right?
Exactly. Like my grandmother, she grew up in rural China and she started smoking when she was like 13. There was no rule. Like your cigarettes. Yeah, exactly. You want to try it. They didn't know. Yeah. At one point, they actually said a cigarette was good for you.
Of course.
Right.
Yeah.
So she was a smoker for like 70 years. And at the end, she still didn't die of lung cancer.
Wow.
What does that tell you?
Yeah. I mean, what is the real correlation at the end of the day? Because nothing can be solidified in that. Yeah, because I hear about stories like that all the time. Yeah. People who live super long, but then you hear that they like drink and they smoked, and it's like, well, I mean, okay.
You cannot worry about too much about everything, because every day someone is telling you about something, right? Like when I first came to this country, and in high school they gave you free meals, and they gave us whole milk in school when I was like 16, 17, and milk is like kind of considered an expensive item. Like outside of the US. Yeah, because fresh milk, like whole milk, you know, they won't give it to you for free. It costs money, right?
But it's more expensive.
It's expensive,
really?
Right?
Okay.
And I was like, oh man, I gotta drink more milk. I want to be healthy, you know, be like strong and everything.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, they banned it in school. They don't serve whole milk anymore.
Oh yeah, they do like chocolate milk. I mean,
they said it's bad for you.
Oh, you're right. Because it's like 1% now, or it's like, chocolate or something.
Like after 50 years now, you're telling me?
I mean, I feel like there's constantly something else that they're coming up with, but there's definitely a correlation between the way that America processes food and the way that we have certain ingredients in our food versus the rest of the world that is causing, you know, an epidemic in our youth and obesity, which is interesting because I know that they're actually coming up with, like, you know, how to make America like healthy again, right? Like I don't know if you've been following that.
MAHA.
Yeah, MAHA. Yeah.
I just said making America healthy again.
MAHA. Yeah, absolutely. So
RFKJ.
Yeah, exactly. Everything that he's trying to pass now to actually remove, you know, even the dyes that we have in the cereal and everything else that people don't even think, like, those dyes aren't necessary. And you go to other countries and you don't see that.
Like, because cereal is not a thing outside the U.S.
It was a completely like propaganda.
So when I first came
point.
here, my aunt, I was staying with my aunt at the time. She was like, "I'm eating cereal." I was like, "What is this thing? It's super sweet."
Yeah. I mean, I was actually looking at something the other day that my significant other sent me, and it was because he's like world-class chef, like really into cooking and everything, and teaching me more about nutrition, and it was about Kellogg's, and that's the cereal. That's how cereal came about, right? Like, you look back into like the 50s or 60s, and it was completely just like a marketing tool, and they actually ended up paying doctors to promote and say that it was healthy to have Kellogg's cereal with like a slice of banana a day, and that's how you should start out your morning with breakfast, right? You break fast.
Yep, exactly. You break your fast.
Exactly, you break your fast in the morning. They're like, this is the best way to break your fast. But now when we actually look and we've studied what, you know, cereal is, it's actually not, because it's oats, right? And we look at oats. I'm gonna get into a whole fitness thing, but I mean, what do you use oats for?
This is a fitness episode, guys.
Yeah, this is a fitness episode. But what do you use oats for?
Milk?
You see, like, you feed them to horses a lot, right?
Okay.
But you feed them to horses and animals to get them fat, to make them gain weight. So that's what we're eating in the morning. That's what we're being told to eat, like things like with oats, in order to be healthy. It's just the education that we've been given is finally coming to light that it's been completely wrong, and a lot of it is because of, you know, companies who have paid off, you know, a lot of the health system.
Absolutely.
And it's finally getting, you know, it's being addressed. Because we see the results, like, so many years later, where obesity with our children is at an all-time high, right? And it's because of the habits that, unfortunately, like, we've actually had in place, because we were being told that it was the truth, right? Like the food pyramid. You heard of the food pyramid?
Yep.
Complete scam. Right? It's terrible.
Yeah. It's very sad. A lot of things that you take for granted, they're not true. So at the end of the day, you just have to, I guess, use common sense. However, common sense these days is not common.
It's not, because you want to trust what you've been taught, and we've been taught wrong. Like, you really have to do the research yourself, and at the end of the day, it becomes something really simple where if it's processed, then you think about our bodies. Our bodies were not meant to be able to break down processed things. We were meant to break down whole things. Like that is one of the best mentalities that you can have if you're not sure about something. Like how processed is this, or what's in it? Like if I turn it around,
the food is from its original form, the worse it is for you.
Exactly, 1,000%, because they add things into it, and your body was not designed to break that down.
Absolutely, absolutely. So eat raw meat, guys.
Eat raw meat, don't cook it. I mean, if you're having a steak, you should have
raw fish, sashimi style.
Tuna. Oh, yes. I love tuna and sushi, all that. Anyway.
So
I saw you guys went to dinner, by the way. Yesterday.
Yes.
And I don't know, it looked like some fancy.
At Malu, in Bayshore.
Okay, because I saw oysters. Like I looked it up, and like immediately, like oysters popped up.
Oh, okay.
So you were talking about like sashimi and stuff.
Right,
so,
exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, we love Japanese food.
Yeah.
So in any case, let's talk a little bit more about your business then.
Yes.
It's great that you're passionate about health and being healthy and eating healthy. No, it's good. Look, you gotta be healthy to do business, right? Like, you have no energy. How do you do business with anybody?
There's a correlation.
Absolutely.
There's a correlation, like a huge one, to what we do as entrepreneurs, and in my belief, fitness and the discipline and mindset that comes with both.
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah.
I mean, to finish the story, when my dad was let go back in 2020, he wasn't sure what to do, right? Like that was his career.
What's he doing exactly? Would you know?
He was a programmer for IBM, which actually it was first EDS, then it got bought out by MCI, then EDS, then IBM, then Verizon. And so he ended his career with Verizon.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was a whole thing. So, and that was over the course of 35 years, right?
Wow.
He wasn't sure what to do, right? Because like that's where he put all of his eggs at, eggs in one basket. My mom wasn't working.
Because he was trained as a programmer, probably.
He was, yeah. And then going out there and finding another job at that age, to start over your career over again.
Right.
It's challenging.
It is.
Yeah, like you said, they can bring in, unfortunately, like, younger individuals or individuals overseas who will work for far less and have the position filled.
Yeah.
So he prayed about it and was like, I'm going to give it to God and let him direct, like, what the steps are. And he was like, well, I think I want to start a business. And I was like, okay, that's awesome. I already had some experience because I had done personal training, had my own personal training business. So I was in it, not completely, but I was like, let's start a business, right? So he ended up meeting this pool guy outside of his house, and that's how it started. So the guy talked to him. My dad was like, oh, well, I'll go ahead and go do a ride along, see how I like it. He liked it. And that individual ended up selling us 25 pool contracts to start our business. So we bought them. And then we started the company, and now today we're at 150 weekly that we service for pools.
Wow.
And
that's amazing. How big is your crew?
Right now we have about 3 individuals.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and we're still growing. It's just, I mean, as you know, with any.
So are you talking about 50 pools per one person a week?
So it's actually, usually we try to keep it anywhere to 15 a day, right? So it's anywhere from 15 to max 20 that we can do for a technician a day, so that we can go ahead and make sure that all
15
pools
a day,
get serviced.
that's quite a lot.
That's the minimum.
How does it take to clean a pool? I don't have a pool, so I have no idea.
It depends. It depends, right? Which is why we try to give some leeway. And we're a lot different than other pool companies, because you'll see other pool companies, I won't name names, but I mean, they're making their guys do 20 exactly, right? Like, and that's a lot. It's a lot of physical labor. We're in Florida. It's hot outside. So it can be taxing, which is why things don't get done right. So that is our biggest thing. Like, we're very picky about who we have on our team and the way that we service a pool, because sometimes it can be, if we're maintaining it the right way with chemicals, then we're able to go in there and do our job easily and get it done. But there's times when, there's something wrong with the pool, right? Or where it's at, if it's an uncovered pool, they're more challenging with chemicals. Salt pools are more challenging, so we have to do more chemical-wise. And then as well as maintaining the system. So each pool, it's a little bit different. You can't ever gauge.
Right.
But we do our best to go ahead and, make sure that we maintain that with our technicians so that they don't feel overwhelmed. Because other pool companies will just throw a ton of pools at one person who's not trained, and then customers are unhappy
it's all about volume.
It's all about volume, and it's never about customer service, which for us, I know when we started this, we wanted that to be the number one thing that sets us apart.
Right.
We can provide great pool service, right? But the one thing that you really see lacking nowadays, especially since COVID, is customer service. So that's why, to me, it's the most important. Like, I want to hear what my customers are saying, and I want to be better. 1% improvement every day for my team or for my customers, because that's truly how you can make a change, right?
Right.
Think about
that's how you differentiate yourself. Same thing in the mortgage industry, right? If you walk into like a big bank like Chase or Wells Fargo or Truist, they need a lot of volume to sustain, putting their name on the stadium and having a brick and mortar shop and everything, right? So they need a lot of transactions. And usually they go against each other. When you have high transaction, you have low customer service, right? Because you have a big number you have to handle. You can do it. So it's interesting. Like recently, I'm not going to name name to protect the innocents. So I was talking to a lady who handles mortgages for a big bank, and she covers a lot of branches, like in the double digit range, one person. And she was like, "Yeah, I mean, I don't have enough time to talk to them." Like basically, instead of looking for ways to qualify you, she's looking for ways to disqualify you. Let's put it that way.
Wow. That's
like
sad.
if you hear that, if she hears that, oh, your credit score is imperfect, like you're in this 600 range, oh, forget it. Next, you're in between jobs. Next.
Like she won't even try. She won't put in that effort.
Yeah, she can, because on one hand, it's a big bank. They're not going to, change any rules for you, right? They have so many customers. On the other hand, she has all these people coming. Like basically, she needs to spend time on the ones that she can actually close with. Which is the opposite of what I do.
I was like, so tell me, like, what is the one thing that you feel sets your business apart from others?
Well, we are a white glove service, low volume shop, I would say, at least lower volume than the banks. I'm the opposite, right? Like, let's say you come to me, you say that, oh, my credit score is imperfect. My first question is, well, what caused your credit score to go down? What happened? You missed a payment? Is it something we can work together to improve your score, therefore get you a better rate? Or you're in between jobs? That's fine. I have programs that don't need you to have a job. I can still qualify you.
Right.
Right? And or you say that you don't have enough down payment. Well, can you save up to just a minimum amount so I can get you into a house? Or we're in Florida, we have hometown heroes. As long as you work for a Florida-based company, maybe I can get you some assistance, get you in. So
isn't there's a program, right, for first-time buyers too, I thought.
Absolutely.
Where they help you with your down payment.
Absolutely, up to $35,000.
Right, so you actually take your time.
Yes.
To look at all that.
I'm the low volume white glove service guy. I need to talk to you, come up with a strategy, and see how I can help you with.
I didn't know, you brought it up, that there's actually a program for individuals in between jobs, though.
Yeah.
Like, that's really interesting because, misconception obviously, but you have to have a job in order to qualify for a mortgage. So how does that work for people?
I have a no income check program. So what it means is it's perfect for people who are in between jobs or for people who make a lot of cash in their business, meaning that they probably did not report a lot of income on their tax return. All cash, right? No tax on tips, like that sort of things. So you need good credit score, at least 700. You need at least 20% down payment, and you need to have 12 months of reserves. That means you need to have enough cash in your bank account to pay for your mortgage payment for 12 months.
Okay.
I can get you in.
That's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the rates are too higher. But the thing is, look, I was joking with a client. He was like, hey, I got somebody I want to refer to. He wants low rate, has no income. Oh, so wait a minute. You have somebody with no money, no income, he wants a low rate. Don't even have him talk to me. I don't want to talk to him.
Yeah, that shows no.
Yeah, exactly. Something has got to give, right?
Yeah,
like I'm sure even in your business, cheap, fast, and good, they don't all go together.
It doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
At the end of the day,
right.
We're a business and we're in the business to provide the best, right? But
exactly.
Yeah, I mean, we're not the cheapest.
Right.
We're not the most expensive, but we definitely give the best quality and the best customer service.
You care about quality, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, if you charge them nothing, therefore you cannot hire good people, you cannot use better equipment, then the job is going to be bad.
I mean, it's different, because for us, we can't afford the chemicals.
Exactly.
It's just, it's the economy overall.
It's nice.
You don't get chlorine today. Sorry, your pool turns green.
I used to be a silent partner in a hair salon. And they talk about chemicals, but for your hair.
Yeah.
So it's just the way you talk about. You gotta get good chemicals, otherwise they're toxic.
Oh my! Okay, this is perfect because I actually went to the Hilton last week downtown. And it was a little staycation with my boyfriend, and went swimming in the pool. I have blonde hair. It turned my hair green. This was not supposed to be this color. It's been platinum, and I have to get it fixed still.
Oh no!
And the reason why is because the pool chemicals were not balanced correctly, and I knew this. It had too much copper, and copper in a pool is not a thing. So it's used as a substitute for chlorine if they don't have chlorine, like chlorine tabs. And so I knew that the minute this has never happened to me in my life. And so I talked to the Hilton.
Interesting.
Super upset. I'm like, your pool turned my hair green. And it's because they're using copper. It can be super damaging to a pool system, and a lot of people don't know that.
Interesting.
Right? So
it's probably not even the manager's fault. It's probably the pool people that they use. It's the pool people's fault,
and they said that they're going to talk to them, and they don't know that I know, right?
Interesting.
I know the chemicals and the balance of what it should be, and I know what caused it. But I'm experienced enough to know what would have caused that chemical reaction.
Right.
And then also to know that, unfortunately, I don't know who the pool people is or what happened or why they had to use it, but you can use copper in a pool only for
I think they should give you that contract.
I think so too. I know.
Just to compensate you.
Yeah, right? They're like, how can we make this better?
Give me the contract.
I know, give me the contract. I'm like, well, I don't even know. Like, I'm going to send you the salon bill or something.
And not just one Hilton, all the Hiltons.
All the Hiltons, yes. I need all the Hilton
That should be
contracts.
good to go.
Hey, you won't have copper in your pool.
Exactly, guaranteed.
It can be bad for the system, though.
It is.
So it's like people don't know that.
That's a crazy story. What is one of the craziest stories that you have seen in your line of business?
Oh, for pools?
Yeah, give me just one. I know you probably have a lot.
There are a lot. I'd probably say there was, a lot of people don't know this, it's a misconception with salt pools. They're great. You think that they're like the bee's knees, right? They're going to be healthier for you. But I had this customer, they wanted a one-time restoration for their salt pool. What happens with salt pools if you don't take care of the chemicals correctly is it ends up getting not just green algae, but black algae. So it's a thing, right? So I went ahead and I was like, yeah, we could do like this one-time restoration and going ahead and take care of it. Showed up at the pool and it was like black. It was the worst that I've ever seen for a salt pool. And
That's
it's because
scary.
they took care of it themselves. It is. It's terrible. And it's like...
So how do you fix it?
You can't completely fix it in one thing either, right? So there's a step. There's like different processes, but to really get black algae off, you have to scrape it, right? So it's like using like different brushes, metal brushes, to really
that's
scrub
nasty.
it. Yeah, and then shocking it to kill, right, the algae. That's what shock liquid chlorine does. And then also, to get some of those spots off, you have to use muriatic acid, but you have to be careful because the combination of liquid chlorine and muriatic acid goes boom. So it was the worst, right? So I'd probably say like that was like the worst, craziest story, just coming up to a complete black pool because people will just let it get that way and then they still don't, like, we got it to the best we could, still did not want service on their pool, right? But you have those individuals.
Right. Well, most of the time, I'll be honest with you, like a lot of my neighbors are building pool now and I'm pretty sure they don't really think about these things. It's just that, let me spend the money, build a pool, I'll dive in and you have a good time, right?
It's a lot more.
What's the one thing that you wish everybody would know or the pool owners would know that will make maintaining a pool so much simpler or easier for you guys?
Yeah, I think the number one thing that I would want pool owners to know is really choosing their system. like wisely, because you have chlorine pools, then you have salt pools. I think that's one of the biggest things.
Okay.
Like I said, if you absolutely need a salt pool and you want it because especially like skin, you know, like it's gonna have a little bit less chlorine in it, then awesome. But a chlorine pool is gonna be a lot easier to maintain chemical wise, and then also the type of filter system, because those things can make a huge difference in how easy it is to maintain your pool if you want to maintain your pool yourself, right? Or if you want to make it easier as far as the chemical wise, because even the filters that you use, there's like DE filters, which are commercial grade and are they're just a pain, right? Those are commercials, not residential. It's not necessary rather than cartridge. So I think just that little education of, you know, choose your system wisely and the type of pool that you're going to have wisely. And that's going to be like the base point for how easy your life is going to be. If you want to have a salt pool, awesome. But I highly recommend, like, you know, for any of it, you need to hire someone because it takes time, right? Like you have to maintain that weekly minimum in order to actually take care of your system. And if you want that pool, because the further you let it go, the more expensive it's going to be. And there you go. Like there's just a ton of money put into
it. It is. Like I deal with real estate, and a lot of the time the pool is the problem.
Yeah, and that's a selling point too. So, you know, people
if it's maintained properly. Otherwise, it's the opposite. I'm serious.
No, you're right.
I'm serious. Yeah, otherwise, it's the opposite. So, what is the point? It's not, I don't want it.
Yeah, it can be the selling point.
Right, it can be the selling point.
Or it can be the one reason why
that people don't want to buy your house. Right.
Don't buy it. So, do you sell too?
I don't sell. I work with realtors like very closely.
Okay.
But you know, it could break my deal, right? Because I work with buyers. So
so you hear about like
if the pool's messed up, they don't want to buy the house. I don't get it. I don't get it closed. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's interesting. I know I had asked you, and I was a little bit confused about this, but you do mortgage, not title. Like you work with a title company.
Right. I'm very focused just on creative financing part of it. I want to be like you. I want to be focused and.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, that's a huge thing. I know you asked me if I did fitness coaching too. And I used to, but I don't anymore because you know, it's my hobby. And I have a lot of great individuals I can, you know, refer. But I had to really come to a point of you can be good at many things or you can be great at one thing, right? So you want to have your focus on that.
Especially if you're still trying to like build a business.
Exactly. You have to give your energy to it, right? Like maybe one day I'll go back into fitness coaching just because I love it so much. But yeah, definitely my focus is like my pool company because I'm building something, you know?
Well, but every person needs an alter ego, right? Like she's like Wonder Woman when it comes to fitness. I feel like everyone needs that.
Yeah, wait, what's your hobby?
So I teach martial arts.
Okay.
Like on the side, I like martial arts, and I'm from Hong Kong, and you know I also learn martial arts from different places. So that's a hobby of mine. I also run. I try to join these like 10K races.
Wow.
I joke that the two go really well together. If I cannot beat up somebody, I run away.
That's hilarious. That's a lot. I mean, that takes a lot of discipline too. And then martial arts. I mean, so I've only done jiu-jitsu a little bit, but I'm like, that's intense.
It is, and there are different types of martial arts out there.
There are.
It's not just one type. And
so what kind do you do?
I have done jiu-jitsu as well in the past.
Okay.
I have done like Chinese martial arts. I've done taekwondo. I've done like different stuff.
Yeah.
And all to a very high level. Like what I told you, I'm 52. So I started when I was 14.
Crazy.
So a lot of wear and tear on your body for sure. So as you get older, you just have to choose the things that not detrimental to your joints. Yeah. Let's put it that way.
You feel like it's helped you stay younger too, though, at the same time, because it helps keep your body moving, right?
It is, but you have to choose what you are doing, right? Like you don't want to be doing joint locks for 30 years.
Okay, I have no idea what that is.
Like do somebody doing this, like you know, like in jiu-jitsu, like in jiu-jitsu.
Okay, gotcha.
So you can go back in time. I know you're still relatively young, but you can go back in time. Let's say to the beginning of your career. And you can give yourself one piece of advice, what would you say?
I would say, you know, really invest in doing something for you. See, my perception has completely changed because of my outlook on corporate America. I'd say...
But you never worked in corporate America before, right? It's because of your dad.
It's because of my dad. I mean, I've worked for other companies.
Which means that you guys must be very close.
We are. My parents are, everything. I'm very blessed to have like such.
Because my kids have no idea what their father went through. Anyway.
Right. I mean, and it got to a point because my dad has health issues that I used to only work part-time in the business. So I had other jobs, right? And then I jumped in full-time because my dad just health-wise couldn't do it alone anymore, right?
Oh, wow.
So I was like, I'm just going to do this, trust God. God's been good. And do it full-time with him, right? And build the business.
That's great.
But I think because of that, some people, if you have that desire, like I feel like I knew I was supposed to be an entrepreneur from a younger age, and I wish that I would have leaned into that more. I'd say find what it is that drives you and then do it. I'm still finishing my bachelor's. I just finished my associates in marketing. And the benefit for me is the education portion. I love learning. And it benefits me in my business. So I wish that I would have invested in that sooner, more of my passion, because I used to be like, oh, well, I'm going to go to college for biology to be a dentist or something, right? When in reality, it just sounded good on paper. So even if it sounds good on paper, do what you feel, right. is going to actually be the right path for you. Because deep down inside, like, I feel like we all, from a young age, we know that we have, like, that leadership quality or whatever drives us for our passion. Like, lean into that. And I wish that I would have leaned into that sooner, right? Because I would have been able to find out sooner that,
it's
what I
not
was meant
easy.
to do.
It's not easy because the whole, college, university system, I would say help a generation to do well. Like, probably one generation, not more
Just
than
one. That's too much.
Yeah, even 1.5 is kind of stretching.
Yeah, no.
I think for one generation, they got the degree, they got their corporate job, they work until they retire, they get pension, done. I think it probably just worked for one generation.
Yeah.
Maybe even less.
Yeah.
And now the system's not around anymore, right?
It's
like pension, what is that? Like.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like even 401k is like
rare.
201k now. Depends on which day you look at it.
Yeah. No, you're right. I mean, and getting a degree nowadays, even in getting jobs, it's so minimal. Like it doesn't hold the same
value
that it
same
once
weight.
did.
Right. Exactly.
So it's different too.
Yeah.
What about you? What would you say?
Oh, I would say go out there, just do things, make mistakes, and the greatest lesson you can learn is the lesson you learn from yourself.
I love that.
Yep.
Yeah, it's powerful.
Yeah, it's better than any college degree, better than any teacher, any mentor. You learn from yourself, and as long as you can learn from yourself, there's no failure.
Yeah. Yep. Discipline.
Yeah.
Whatever that you're going through. I know I talked to my daughter about that this morning when she worked out with me for the first time.
Awesome.
So excited, but it's discipline. Like that's the greatest thing that, I want to instill in them is that things are going to come.
Right.
And you don't know what it is and you don't expect it, and that's okay because if you have the discipline to say, "Hey, I got knocked down, but I'm going to get through this," you can overcome and achieve absolutely anything. I don't care what it is.
Absolutely. And also, you don't know when the opportunity is going to come.
No, you don't.
Like, it just shows up, and you got to be ready.
Yep.
Right? You cannot predict it.
Yep.
Like, if you believe in God,
right?
then, that's God's gift to you. Like, all of a sudden, it's like, boom, it's here. You got to do it now.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Like, you want to get into movies, whatever, you gotta be in shape all the time. You cannot just get a six-pack the day before they start filming.
Right, yeah. Bodybuilding competitions.
Exactly.
You can't just wait. Like, you have to train for a year. I mean, those people
but you have to peak at the right time.
You have to peak at the right time. You have to be like, make sure, right?
Right that day, that 7 o'clock.
Yep. No, I love it.
Yeah, I was really into when I was younger. I watched all these bodybuilding documentaries like Pumping Iron.
Yes, I love that one.
With Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yes,
it's so funny. I think the funniest moment in that movie is he wants to improve his posture. He wants to look more graceful on stage. So he started taking ballet lessons.
Oh yeah, I completely forgot about that.
That is like the funniest moment of that documentary.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, look at how smart this guy is. He went to something complete opposite to learn some technique so it can implement it in its own thing.
Yeah, it is a whole art form. Like there's so much more into it that people don't understand, especially when it comes to, you can have a really great body, right? But if you don't present it well, it means absolutely nothing on stage. So that's one thing I'm learning as I go to my competitions is the posing means everything. It's an illusion.
You got to execute.
Yeah, and you have to, you
got to execute. All right. Well, thank you, Sarah.
Thank you, Kevin. That's awesome.
That's it for the day. It's a wrap.